only one under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa.
Biafra, Merani, Onuzo ke Biafra, na Merani, Onuzo ke Biafra, Merani, Onuzo ke Biafra.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you once again to this amazing platform where we disseminate information that has to do with the restoration of independent state of Biafra. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this platform. This is Biafra Exodus Hard Talk TV, a platform that stands for the United States of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the supreme command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And today, under the leadership of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, the Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, COS interim, I welcome all of you to this very platform. Happy New Year to everyone that is watching, wherever you are watching from. We are in a new year. And as we enter the new year, many people are asking questions and they say, what next? Where is the way to go? The way to go is simple. We are pursuing the recognition of the United States of Biafra and the restoration of Biafra fully on the ground. That is the phase where we are today. Every one of us must continue to give our contribution the best way we can. And remember, I urge you to like and share. Share to your neighbors, share to your family, share to everyone to key in and join us on this gospel. Do not be distracted. Regardless what you hear, regardless what you see, regardless the propaganda and blackmail that is flying from right, left, and center, do not get distracted. Be focused, because Biafra have been declared on the 29th of November 2024, and there is no going back. We are pursuing the recognition of Biafra.
The world 98% to 20. Yeah, which I when I know cost of the war, Igbo. Why it was not just say funny this year. Can they get you the whole Southern say wouldn't do Yoruba? Uno Oshaya me go see now and abandon the South from Medo down to the whole eastern here. Ebruha manando Yoruba bunda ni Igbo. The same undo Yoruba and then no kwana okay we pota wolowo. Get you a medal. How do she change history? And don't make a bankete, how quite bankete. Oto ni ha Isra. Where federal government, in Kere no more click on CC. I wait for federal government, I get me arrest. I get the DSS letter. Someone I have no here, cut out in her ordre. Would I doubt? We're in the DSS. How may I get me arrest? I'm going to DSS to make protests. Why couldn't get I made this chief from Ajawe State arrest 2 years? Onye just no kurobero onye we kwu ga mo Nigeria oko na agba nkete. So which means I never got the federal government here no mehore no mokre na fanika the arrest. I na how federal government Zaka na sponsor another pogrom against the southeasterners. I kweteze odoanya na everybody na ebo na ha na alo war na southeast bụ eziokwu na then ha nwekwa media war by na akwụ ndị mmadụ ụgwọ ka ha na-erase issues na-make statement game put the rest of the Nigerians against ndị Igbo. Oso ni high kwuru there ka ndị Igbo ọbụla onye ọbụla na-ebe ọ na-echele eche ịnụ ebubo ọbụla ebo ndị Igbo lite press conference, especially ọnwụ na ị na-ekwu ihe ndị Igbo ndị nta akọ na-enye aka na ọbanata ego ka anyị wee maka ihe ha ji emegbu anyị were ma achọ ha na control media ọ bụ asị anyị nwa na onwe ya achọghị control ọwụ ha nwe ya ha na-ekwu anyị na-ekwu ka anyị gwazie Nigeria ka mmanụ ndị ala bụrụ problem ndị Igbo bụrụ ndị Hausa enwebeghị ebe anyị na ndị Hausa na ose ọ ha ga-ebu propaganda ha tụapụzie ndị Hausa elite. So also ni ha mere na press conference
ọ ka bụrụ oge ndị Igbo Voice of the People 90.3 FM oge anyị na-eme kwarapụ ọtụtụ ndị ozi ka nkụ amaghị m ebe m ga-ebido ozi ka nkụ na ụtụtụ a ka m bidogodi ụtụtụ ọma Madam Pinto Adigbo na to handsome Madam Pinto ị na-eme nke ọma jisi ike nwaanyị isiri nnọọ ike isi na maazị Kolombo nwere ihe ị na-ekwu isi na na ọ na-anụkwanụ gị ọkụ n'obi ka enwe ụmụ nwaanyị ndị ọzọ ga-adị ka Madam Pinto bụ ndị ga-elite na-ekwu ka Madam Pinto si ekwu isi na ala anyị bụ Naijiria ghọọla kwa ụbọchị kwa akụkọ ọjọọ. Maazị Kolombo si ojekunlela dịkwa ya gaziri gị ụtụtụ ọma Igbo na-atụ handsome. Madam Pinto ụtụtụ ọma ikwuole ihe niile gọọmenti Naijiria bụ nsogbu anyị nwere kedụkwana ka gọọmenti Naijiria ga-esi nye otu onye ikikere ka ọ na-egbu ndị mmadụ. Michael si Aswani ya gaziri gị ụtụtụ ọma Igbo na-atụ handsome biko bụlụnụ ozi ekele bunyere nnukwu adị Igbo Madam Pinto si ya ka o jide nke ojii ka ụbọchị taa mara anyị niile mma. Maazị Ike si sulere ya gaziri gị Madam Pinto udo dịrị gị na Igbo na-atụ handsome biko kedụkwanụ ka anyị ga-esi kpọkọta ndị gọvanọ enwere n'ala Igbo ndị sinetọ ndị eze ndị chifu kanselọ ndị ọhaneze ndị ọnụ na-eru n'okwu na ala Igbo nakwa ndị na-egwu okwe ndọrọ ndọrọ ọchịchị ka ha pụta kwado ESN ichekwa ala Igbo n'ime ọhịa anyị ka ndị ofe mmanụ siri họpụta Amoteko. Chukwu gọzie Madam Pinto dike nwaanyị deme ọmalịcha si ọgwa ọmalịcha ya gaziere gị ụtụtụ ọma Igbo na-atụ handsome Chukwu gọzie unu maka ọrụ ọmụnụ na-arụ asịkwa azịgba ihe ọjọọ akụkọ Naijiria bụ biko asị m unu na-edetakwanụ ya n'asụsụ bekee ka onwe ike ọgụgụ ya gaziere gị Maazị Chikadibia si Shogunle maka ya bụ ozi ezitere anyị. Amarachukwu si Ikeja ndewo maka ya bụ ozi izitere anyị. Nke a toro ogologo ma oge adịghị ụtụtụ ọmatụ nsọ na-adị Igbo ụmụọma ndị Igbo ekene dịrị unu biko ya bụ nwoke wakporo ụmụaka ndị nwoke a na-etolite etolite bụkwana nwoke ọjọọ o kwesịrị ịnwụ Chibo si ladịkwa ya gaziri gị maka ya bụ ozi izitere anyị. Ka m gaa na YouTube maka otu ndị esere ozi na YouTube. Vincent Chusu ndewo Gregory Kadike Ojebe Eke Juventus Ọkpala anyị na-efekwara gị aka ịghọtago ịghọla ofu aka 1 na VOP. Francis Onyebuchi ndewo Queenet ụka nwa Seraphic Media ya gazitụbọrọ gị Okeke Kenneth ọzọ Biafra Lọsị na Amadi isi adị Igbo otu handsome ụtụtụ ọma isi Madam Pinto irikpole Austin ya gazitụbọ Lọsị na Amadi ya gazitụbọrọ gị eze nwa onye dịkachi Uchinna Amadi ndewo Francis Udozo ya gaziere gị Nnemeka Stanley isi na achọrọ ọtụtụ ndị dịka Madam Pinto ụtụtụ ọma ndị VOP Nnamele Steven ya gaziere gị maka ya bụ ozi zitere anyị. Madam Pinto oge anyị akụzuola anyị n'oge abụghị nwanne ndị ọzọ sịrị anyị ozi n'ụtụtụ a biko na-ewe n'iwe ozi ka nkụ oge anyị akụzuola. Madam Pinto ana m ekele gị n'ụtụtụ a n'ihi na anyị kpọrọ gị gaa za anyị akpụkwa gị n'ụbọchị ọzọ biko zakwa anyị. Igbo mụrụ nze mụ ọzọ ebe a ka anyị ga-achịkọba ya n'oge ndị Igbo nke ụtụtụ a enwere nwoke adịrị ebe a agaghị m agụpụta ya oge akụzuole Igbo na-atụ handsome ụtụtụ ọma. Madam Pinto oyi ya bụ oyi dị ugboro 3 ka ị dere ya ka onye nwaanyị gaa n'iru na-agọziri m gị oge eruole mgbe ha ga-atọhapụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Ọ bụkwara Maazị enyi nna ya mkpọ ọ blues ya gaziere gị imere maka isonye anyị n'oge ndị Igbo nke ụtụtụ akụ fọji fọkụ falafọ onye ahụrụ taa sị ka ahụkwa ya echi. Aha m bụ Chika Iro mana ịkpọ Igbo Wonder Voice of the People. Megbuora gị ọkụkọ taa bụ ahịa eke ka o ketara gị ihe ọma
echi na-abịa abịa anyị ga-enwe ihe omume anyị na-agba mana achọghị m ịgwụ ka agba ahụ ga-esi wee dị mana anyị ga-enwekwa agba ndị nke Solomon ga-abịa ka agwa anyị ka ya bụ ọnọdụ si wee dị. Anyị ga-enwekwa agba si steeti Anambra ka mara ka ọnọdụ steeti Anambra dị n'ozi ndị ọzọ ị kwesịrị ịma. Aha m bụ Tobechukwu Kasme a na-akpọ m Too Handsome nwoke mara mma ọkwi
ezi afọ ọhụrụ site na Bula.
Before you blame Rwanda on the issue of the M23 in the Democratic Republic of Congo, I want to give you a small background about exactly what is happening in the eastern part of the Congo. How did it all start? Because all you hear is that Rwanda is supporting M23 rebels. The DRC government is fighting against the M23 rebels to take the eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's what you hear in the news every day. I want to tell you exactly what's happening there. Let's go back to where it's all started. During the infamous Berlin Conference in Europe, when Europeans were dividing Africa amongst themselves, the Belgians took Congo, the Germans took Rwanda, Germans took Tanzania as well, and the English took Uganda, carving out this area amongst themselves as Europeans. They didn't care which tribes they were cutting in between. Most tribes in Africa have been cut in between. At the borders of most African countries, you find that the same tribe is found on each side of the border. It is very common across Africa because the Europeans did not care how they are dividing these tribes. All they did is just, you're taking this, we're taking this, you're taking this, we're taking this. So that's how they divided the DR Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi, Tanzania, around that area. And the Tutsi tribe ended up having its territory divided between two countries, Rwanda and the then Zaire, which is today's Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, why are the M23 rebels fighting against the Democratic Republic of Congo forces and the United Nations in the eastern part of the Republic of Congo? And who are the M23? The M23 rebels are a rebel group that was formed by the Tutsis themselves to defend their territory, which is the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, to defend against who? Against the Democratic Republic of Congo government, which has been trying to take over their land, the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, for decades now. You might be wondering how a group of people might be trying to defend themselves against their own government in their own country. Yes. That's the Democratic Republic of Congo. There is no rule of law. Everybody for himself. If you are weak, you are displaced. And this is what happens. Countries like the United States, China, and Russia have gone to the Democratic Republic of Congo, have chosen territories that they want to take over, and they've armed tribes that live there to fight off some tribes. So weaker tribes are taken over. So every tribe in the Congo DRC has to arm itself to the teeth. Those who have more arms and stronger, they take more territory. Government is in on it. The United States, the EU, they use the United Nations troops as cover for gang warfare that is going on in the DRC. There's no government in the DRC. They call themselves government, yes, because they run things from Kinshasa. But in actual fact, they are a gang that represents the United States, France, and others to loot the DRC. And what do? The Democratic Republic of Congo forces themselves will go out there and displace their own people off their land and allow American, British, and Belgian and French companies to be mining on those lands while the indigenous people on those lands have been displaced into refugee camps. Some have been displaced into other countries. Generations are born outside the Congo because they can't go back. They've been displaced and their lands are being guarded by the gun. Under the watch of the Democratic Republic of Congo government. This is why the Tutsis in the eastern part of the Congo armed themselves, starting with the Banyamulenge, now with the M23. Because if you don't arm yourself in the DRC as a tribe, you are finished, especially if you have rich land like the eastern part of the DRC that belongs to the Tutsis. So the M23 rebels had to arm themselves to fight to defend their territory. The eastern part of Congo is rich with uranium, lithium, and other semiconductor minerals that are used to make phones and drones and everything. So now, the world is moving towards drones and phones, these smartphones and everything, and electric car batteries and everything. And these minerals are in abundance in the eastern part of the Congo. Are you following me? So, government forces are fighting to take the eastern part of the Congo away from the Tutsis. The Democratic Republic of Congo government is not being very honest. The truth is, they are fighting to take away the eastern part of the Congo so that the United States and other countries can enjoy exploiting those minerals in the eastern part of Congo after displacing the people, the Tutsis, the rightful owners of the eastern part of the Congo. Now, how does Rwanda come in? Follow me now. Rwanda comes in because there is a Tutsi government in Rwanda. And they are one people, by the way. They are just divided by the borders. They speak one language. They have one culture. They have the same religion. So they went to Rwanda and asked for help from Rwanda. So what does Rwanda do? They are countrymen. They are clansmen. Can they let them down? No. Because even when they are mining their own land as Tutsis in the eastern part of the Republic of Congo, they are not going to export their minerals that they are mining from there through Kinshasa or through other places. They have to find safer routes that they trust. So where are the safer routes to get the minerals out? It's Rwanda and Uganda. Do you understand what's going on here? So they fostered a relationship with Rwanda. Now, what does Rwanda benefit? From the exports, of course. One. Number two, after the genocide in Rwanda, it was a fight between the Hutus and the Tutsis. The Hutu tribe also is found in Democratic Republic of Congo, and it was divided in half by the Europeans. It is also found in the Democratic Republic of Congo, by the way. This is how complicated this whole thing is. So now, the Hutus, after being defeated in Rwanda, they escaped to the DRC. So when they escaped to the DRC, they were regrouping there to come and overthrow the government by force in Rwanda. So I said, how does the Rwandan government benefit from this scenario? Number one, I said, exportation through Rwanda of minerals. Number two, national security of the Rwandan government, the Rwandan people, has to be guaranteed. How? Because the Hutus could regroup and attack Rwanda again. So how do they guarantee national security as Rwanda? They have to keep those Hutus in the DRC in check. So how does Rwanda do that? They use their clansmen, the Tutsis that are found in the DRC, to keep the Hutus in the DRC in check. Do you see there? So that's the second way that Rwanda is benefiting from the relationship that it has with the Tutsis that are found in the DRC. Now, the DRC government is not being honest because they are trying to push the Tutsis out of the eastern part of the Congo, saying they have to go back to Rwanda. Where do they go back to? The eastern part of the Republic of Congo is their land. It is their land. You cannot expel a people and leave their land. The DRC government is not being honest. What they want is the minerals, the uraniums and the lithiums and other semiconductor minerals that are found in the eastern part of the Congo, the land that belongs to Tutsis. So they want to expel the Tutsis from there to Rwanda. You cannot, because these people is their land. The Europeans just divided it and said, this is Congo, this is Rwanda. So the DRC government, by not being honest on this issue, is complicating things. And the United Nations is coming in an already chaotic situation. But everybody knows the United Nations is the United States. So the United States has interest in the eastern part of the Republic of Congo because it is rich with semiconductors, which are important for nuclear arms production, drones, and all these phones and car batteries and airplanes and everything in the eastern part of the Congo. That's why the war is concentrated on the eastern part of the Congo, because the United States and its allies are fighting to push the Tutsis off their land.